So we can go back and kind of connect chapter 2 to chapter 5 here, looking at a table that has a frequency distribution. So here we have a table below that contains the employment type for a sample of 1,000 employed citizens of Fairfax County, Virginia. We're going to use the table to construct a probability model and then find the probability if you randomly select an individual from Fairfax County that would fall into the other category, and then explain the meaning of this probability. So I'm going to show you guys a little bit easier way to do this, but the first thing you would need to do is find the total of that, but we're given that in the problem. So they tell us that we have a sample of 1,000 employed citizens there. So we know this total is 1,000. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and do second plus 4 and then enter to clear out any lists I have, building that habit again, and go to stat and then enter, and I'm going to type my data into L1. So I type in 597, 141, 97, 92, 59, 12, and 2. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different categories. So we're on the 8th one, so we're good. So now what I'm going to do is go over to L2, and I'm going to go up to L2. And let's think about what this is. Actually, what we're doing in calculating probability is we're looking at the frequency over the total. So let's think about what that is. That's actually the relative frequency. So we're just going to take that value that's in L1 and divide it by the sum of L1. So what I can do is I can type in here second 1 divided by, and then if I hit second stat, that'll give me the list, and go over to math. So if I press the left button, that'll get me to math quicker. Go down to number 5, which is sum, press enter, and then second L1, close my parentheses. So it'll take what's in L1 and divide it by the sum of L1. So I'll press enter, and it'll calculate those values for me. So let's think about them being out of 1,000. So if they're out of 1,000, we're just moving the decimal place to the left 3 times. So these values are correct here. So that's an easy way for us to calculate that. So I'm just going to transfer these values over here to my paper. So this probability is 0.597. So this is a different way to do it than what we had did on Excel. So easier way to do that. So now we want to actually explain the meaning of that probability after we found it. So let me make this a little bit smaller here. So the probability of randomly selecting an individual from Fairfax County that falls into the other category is 0.002, or if we convert that to a percent, so let's think about this. So to convert a decimal to a percent, okay, you can multiply it by 100, right? Or 0.2%, right? So this means that it is very unlikely that we would select an individual who is in the other category, right? So remember that if your probability is less than 5%, then it's considered unlikely. So we have 1 is considered certain, 0 is considered impossible, and then anything less than 5% or 0.05 is considered unlikely.